Hi, my name is Ruby Powers with Powers Law Group in Houston, Texas, immigration law firm. I'm here to give you our weekly update on the news. We normally go on Friday noon time, but we're giving you an update and catching you up on a lot of the changes that have happened. So, where do we start? Well, one of the things I want to mention is that on October 15th, USCIS will be requiring a lot of different updated forms, including I-485, which is the adjustment form, I-601, which is used for waivers, I-864, which is the affidavit of support, and I-129, among some others, including I-539. I know I just rambled a whole bunch of numbers, but really basically the gist of it is if you're planning to file something and you don't have an attorney, you need to make sure that you have the right version. And what we always do here is we always check to see where we should send it, because a lot of times the instructions have been changing. We have been going to lots of trainings and really trying to understand what the public charge, the new rule that was announced in August, is going to look like for USCIS. And we'll continue to provide that information in the forms of Facebook Lives and in our consults and also in articles. But one of the things to note is that it will USCIS's version of public charge will take place starting October 15th. And along that, when you're filing for adjustment of status, you will now have to file an I-944, which is a declaration of self-sufficiency, which I realize is 19 pages long. So, in addition to the I-864, which is an affidavit of support, we will have to complete the I-944, which asks lots of questions about household assets and resources, and a credit report, and insurance, and public benefits. So we will continue to give you updates about what you should know about with public charge, but basically do know that if you are applying to apply for adjustment of status, you should definitely have a thorough conversation with an experienced immigration attorney, because that goes into effect October 15th. What we already have is consular processing with the State Department already has their version of the public charge, which is very stringent, and it's very important that people are prepared for that when they do go to their interviews abroad. Moving on to other news, U.S. signs asylum deal with Honduras, the latest in a string of agreements with Central America. Basically, people have been fleeing Central America for the last several years, but even more so recently, the last couple of years. And the Department of Homeland Security struck an agreement with Honduras that they're trying to curb migration to the U.S., and the agreement with Honduras could allow U.S. to send some asylum seekers back to Honduras if they didn't first claim asylum when passing through the country, similar to the deals that U.S. has made with Guatemala and El Salvador. Border Patrol will no longer be releasing families into the interior of the United States. The families claiming asylum will be sent to Mexico for the duration of their immigration proceedings, which is what we've been seeing since December. Well, actually, it was announced in December 2018, but later came into effect later in the spring of 2019 with the Remain in Mexico, or the Migrant Protection Protocols, as the government likes to call it. In the last 6 months, U.S. has signed agreements with Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras. DHS has not released the contents of the agreements, nor a clear timeline when they'll be enforced. So the thing is that most of the people that we've seen applying for asylum from Central America are from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. So I'm not really sure if we're going to send the people who are fleeing those countries to another country that other people flee from. Not really sure how this is going to work out. But I can tell from reports from those helping those who are stuck on the Mexican side, who are trying to apply for asylum. In Matamoros, we have a lot of great immigration attorneys, including Jody Goodwin and others who've been volunteering, that it is chaos and a mess, and people are being taken advantage of and extorted while they're waiting. On to other news, more than 31,000 people were blocked from entering the U.S. by the Trump travel ban. They have been denied entry to the U.S. due to the travel ban. According to the State Department, the travel restrictions, which are upheld by the Supreme Court last year, currently affect Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, Yemen, and along with Venezuela and North Korea. Chad was removed last April after the White House said they had improved their security measures. So we have seen that in the past, the waivers to these bans have been very difficult to come by. In most cases, there has to be a life or death situation, and even then it doesn't always work out. Trump's plan to cut aid to Central America could push more migrants to come to the United States. The Trump administration has said Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras will receive aid in the future only if they take concrete actions to reduce immigration. But experts are saying freezing international aid will increase the number of migrants heading to the United States. Aid to El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras is referred to as the Northern Triangle. Like I was mentioning, that's where we've seen most of our asylum applicants coming from Central America. And the aid is aimed to bringing people out of poverty, increasing job opportunities, reducing corruption in police forces, and increasing government transparency, and strengthening judicial systems. They say the programs are long-term investments that can deter migration. The government's refusal to vaccinate migrants in detention could put us all at risk. I was quoted in an article by the LA Times, an opinion piece about the importance of vaccinations when people are detained, and there have been outbreaks of mumps, and going into flu season we're afraid that could happen too, because they have denied people certain vaccinations and in these detention facilities. And furthermore, U.S. universities report a drop in students from China. The past 10 years, the number of students have been rising, but they've seen a 20% drop or more this autumn, so this fall session. They believe the reasons for the following numbers are everything from trade conflicts, political tensions between China and the United States, and increasing competition, students, visa issues, and the growth of China's higher education system. So that's just some of the news. I'm sure there's a lot more other things that are going on, and then we'll continue to report about that. I forgot to mention, but my book is finally out. I'm super excited. This was published with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Build and manage your successful immigration law practice without losing your mind. And I'd like to thank my family, my staff, and all my friends and mentors and everyone who's helped me. This was a long time coming, but started work, like actual writing, last November, and was finalized this summer. And I'll be traveling around the country doing law practice management CLEs and some book signings. And so it's available on Agora, and we'll post that link. But we're excited to help other immigration attorneys with their practice so that we can all do the best we can to help represent our clients. We have some upcoming events. I will be speaking to the University Area Rotary Club this Wednesday morning on immigration. And this Thursday, I will be recognized as a Houston Business Journal Women Who Mean Business Outstanding Woman in Law honoree. And I'm very honored to be among the great group of about 8 or 10 women lawyers who have been distinguished in this honor. I am very grateful to the Houston Business Journal, and we'll continue to show pictures and let you know about that. And last week I was honored as a beacon of light at the University of Houston School of Law Arrival Awards, which honored 3 Arrival awardees and 20 Beacon of Lights. And it was a great event to help raise money for the U of H Law School Immigration Clinic, which I heavily support. And just last week I was at U of H Law and South Texas College of Law speaking to their students. It was very exciting, and I just love giving back and speaking to the community. We're going to be at Boone Elementary, I think, on October 11th. And I'll be speaking to the National Organization of Women on October 13th. And I will be at the Law Practice Management Conference in DC with Ayla on the 16th and 17th. And we'll be doing a book signing on the 17th. We have some other events coming up, but we post those in our newsletter as well. And so again, my book came out. I'm super excited. Build and Manage Your Successful Immigration Law Practice. It's a bit of a mouthful, but there's a lot of great information. Like 20 plus chapters, almost 300. How many pages is it? I don't know. 328. Who would have thought that was gonna get so long? But you know, our 10-year anniversary for the law firm is this November, so we're really excited. We'll be you know, celebrating that and just, you know, remembering the last 10 years. And just in general, you know, we're here. Give us a call at 713-589-2085 if you have would like to have a consultation in English, Spanish, and we can accommodate other translators for a consultation. We're a full service immigration law firm on all different areas within immigration. I'm board certified. We have 3 attorneys here, and we also like to speak out to the community. So if you'd like to reach us for an immigration talk, a public charge talk, or some other informational session, just reach out to us and we'll get you in the right place and set that up. And I believe I mentioned this at some point, but I am running for State Representative District 134 in 2020, and my website is rubyfortexas, RUBYFORTEXAS.com, if you'd like to follow me there. But thank you so much for watching. We'll continue to keep you updated. Our newsletter will come out this week. And have a great week, and Happy New Year, Rosh Hashanah. Thanks.